The third African ReproCownect Seminar held at Bishoftu Town here in Ethiopia. On the event, it was said that the seminar has multiple roles of dairy for the African continent, including in efforts to attaining food sovereignty and nutrition security.
Thank you very much. My name is Asrat Tera. I work for Livestock Development Institute as a Director General. Our cattle population is the top of Africans list, as I indicated in my presentation. But still, because of many factors, now we have not been utilizing, this one. So the major one is a genetic related constraints, because for example, we have more than 15 million breedable cows, but still if you see the production potential, then a cow gives 1.4 or 1.5 liters of milk per day. But if you consider the genetically improved ones, if the crossbreed ones, then she can give from 10 to 15 liters per day if she is well managed. So one genetically improved cow is equivalent to 10 our indigenous cows. So look, the 10 indigenous cows, the greenhouse gas emission, the environmental degradation, the feed she consumes, the labor, the space. So this all needs some strategic implementation, strategic activities. So for this there is a very huge initiative from our Prime Minister, His Excellency Dr. Abiy Ahmed. So this is a Lemat Trufat, and dairy stands one of the major programs in this Lemat Trufat, and Livestock Development Institute is one of the pioneer institute in order to produce semen for artificial insemination, because our plan is to reach the 10.4 billion liters of milk in 2026 from the initial year 5.8 billion liters. So this can only be realized by improving the efficiency of AI and also through artificial insemination. So artificial insemination is a major means for that, and Livestock Development Institute is the only institute that is mainly engaged in semen production and other genetic improvement related issues. So currently, for example, this year our plan is to produce 2.6 million doses of semen. If Livestock Development Institute is not able to produce such dose of sexed semen, then we need to import from abroad. But if you can see, if you just import one dose or one straw of semen in $10, then you can see how 2.6 million doses of sexed semen, doses of conventional semen cost, so that the contribution of livestock development is very, very immense and paramount as far as the Lemat Trufat program implementation and attaining the Lemat Trufat program objective is concerned. So our major one is inputs like semen, like liquid nitrogen, like technical advice for the dairy value chain actors, and also those that are involved in even the dairy and also meat products processing, export, and other related issues. So the livestock development, livestock development institutes importance in this regard is very, very.
Yeah, well, my name's Thomas Muller. I come from the U.S. I represent Worldwide Sires, and we're an American genetics company that makes sure U.S. genetics make their way outside of the U.S. and reach dairy farmers and ranchers all around the world. And yeah, especially excited to be here today in Ethiopia at the ReproCownect conference. This is my first time. And yeah, it's just very good to be here. So thank you very much. There's a lot happening here. I know LDI is doing a lot of great work, and we're here to help. And so I think one thing that we can do as, exporters from the US and other AI industry representatives is to help people create strategies, to set a plan and a direction, and so that they can take their herd and move it forward, right? And be specific with their goals and make sure that they're being disciplined and following a plan and working towards that future that they want to see in this country.
My name is Julien Lesage. I'm area manager for the company MG2 Mix. We are a French company specializing in animal nutrition, and we produce blends of vitamins and trace elements, premixes. Correct, this is our second participation to the ReproCownect Seminar. The previous edition was held in Kenya, in Nairobi. So we visited reproduction farms and we gave them experience that we had in the reproduction system based on our farms that we have in France, but also in our expertise that we have on the ground in Africa in tropical conditions. So we help them to increase the performances in semen production, but also in reproduction.
My name is Dr. Michael Chalo from Kenya. I'm a regulator. That is the Directorate of Veterinary Services, Kenya. And we regulate the breeding section or breeding sector in Kenya in all the animals. Currently, we have 5 production centers. 4 of them are for bovine, that is cattle, and 1 of them is for goats. And recently there is one organization known as Farmers Choice that has started the production of pig semen production center. Okay, one thing that in Kenya that we are undertaking, especially with the current government, there is a lot of political goodwill for livestock sector with the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. We call it MBITA. And we have come up with what we call animal health and breeding sector delivery model. This is a new model. I don't think whether it has ever been tried in any other country, but we are trying it, and I'm sure once we are in the process of implementation, we have done all the preparations. We are targeting the dairy sector, that is the dairy area, and also the beef. And in the dairy sector, we have set quite a number of regions. In every ward, we will have in the dairy areas or regions, we will have a cooperative which will be running the breeding and also animal health, and that will lead to we are engaging animal health assistants, 4 of them, and 1 veterinary surgeon. That is in the dairy areas, and also that is for dairy sector. And then now for beef, we are approaching it in form of feedlot. We are establishing feedlots. Around feedlots in every county, because in our country the administration areas are the counties. That is what we have in under our new 2010 constitution. So in every county we have about 10 to 15 feedlots. Those are the finishing centers for the beef animals. So after in the semi-arid and arid areas, after the farmers, the pastoralists have kept the animals to a certain level, they will be bringing their animals or their beef animals to that feedlot, and that feedlot is going to be managed by a kind of a cooperative. So every feedlot will have a cooperative to run it, and that is where we will deploy the professionals. Then the same professionals that we deploy within the feedlot, they will also serve the communities around in terms of animal health and also the breeding. Yeah, that is the arrangement we have in Kenya.
My name is John Cecil. I work with IMV Technologies in Sub-Saharan Africa. My colleague is Charlene. She's our technical expert around reproduction for different species, and I'm very happy to have her with us today. IMV Technologies is a French company. We are the world leader in reproduction biotechnology, and I think one of the main stakeholders of the reproduction industry throughout the world, but also here in Sub-Saharan Africa. We are co-organizing this seminar with SIVA Animal Health. We had this idea a few years ago, where we saw that while we were interacting with our clients in different countries, that there was a need for them to connect, not only to gain more technical knowledge, but also to see what the people in other countries are doing. And looking at that need for the industry players to connect, SIVA and IMV, we came together, we said, we are part of the industry. Let us organize, let us be proactive. Let us organize this seminar, gather all the industry stakeholders, whether they're public or private, and every other year do a seminar where all the stakeholders can come together. Like we always say, this is not our seminar for IMV or SIVA, it is their seminar. And this is also why we get a lot of traction of these seminars, because there's a need for all our people to connect and then discuss. A second aspect is the fact that because it is a niche sector in each country, we want to expose all the stakeholders to the future of the reproduction industry. So we are trying to share, as private stakeholders that are developing a lot of technical innovations, to share those technical innovations, but then also to showcase them what is happening within East Africa. For this edition, we want to show them what is happening in Ethiopia. Ethiopia is among the two biggest countries when it comes to reproduction in Sub-Saharan Africa, and it is very important for all of the continent to see, to come and see. And something I always say, especially in sectors in Central and West Africa, but even some of the East African countries or Southern African countries that don't have a reproduction sector or even a livestock sector that is developed as here in Ethiopia, the first thing I will always tell them is, please, you do not need to go to Europe to see what is happening. You don't need to go to the Americas to see what's happening. Stay within the continent. Let us bring you to Ethiopia, let us bring you to Kenya to show you how they have been able to address the local challenges, because your local challenges are also very close. Whether they're technical, whether they're administrative, whether they are cultural, they are very close. So please come and see what they've done in East Africa, and you will learn, you will have a vision, and you can talk to the people that have done it. You can talk to the directors of the institutions. You can talk to the technical people to see how have they addressed those different challenges. And this is what this seminar is about: is to bring everybody together collectively, show them the vision for tomorrow, and also show them that please stay within. You can stay within the continent and look at successful examples for the report.
The fact that the demand for dairy products is increasing and will continue to increase at a rate much higher than that of food grains is both an opportunity and a challenge for Africa.
My name is Pierre Venetier. I'm representing SIVA Santé Animale for East Africa. One constraint that we've seen is that simply sometimes it's very hard to get the products on the field. There are numerous constraints between having a product produced, for example, in a factory in Europe, and actually making sure that it reaches a farmer in a rural area in Ethiopia. So we have dedicated logistical centers for Africa to make sure that we are very agile, so that these products can reach the field. And then we are working with local partners who know the field very well, so that this product can be taken on the field in the best conditions possible. So that's number one, I would say, is purely logistic and things like optimization to reach end user. Second is we are bringing a lot of technical support through sometimes initiatives, both in the ruminants but also in the poultry sector, where we support the farmers. We train them, and we also train professionals. That's, I would say, one of the main reasons we are here today, is to present our innovations and have a debate with the professionals to train them, but also to learn from them. So this is how we believe we can make some progress, is to have a quality product, make sure that it reaches the field and there are no shortages, and then try to help training the people to use these solutions the best way possible, so that you get the most of these quality products on, I would say, tailored solution, adapted solution for the field.
Since markets provide the vital link between activities along the dairy value chain and are often the driving force for the improvement of the production to consumption linkage, the market constraints at various points along the dairy value chain are a concern for producers, processors, traders, input providers, and consumers and policymakers as well.
So every country is different, right? And so we spend time meeting with the people here, working with the cows, trying to understand what their needs are, and then we do all that we can to help them meet their goals, right? And so it takes time. You need to spend time in country learning about the different systems, the dairy marketing models, how people have developed the farms here and the infrastructure that they have. And then once you have all of that taken into consideration, then you can build out a strategy and move forward and bring in the genetics that are going to help them meet their need, right? And there's no one-size-fits-all model, but we do what we can to support everyone.
So we have large expertise and experience in northern part of Africa. We also have experience in western part of Africa, and here in this region we are bringing our knowledge and expertise to new partners that we have in the region. So basically in Kenya, Uganda, Ethiopia.
I'm Luagu Siraj. I'm from Uganda, from an organization called the National Animal Genetic Resources Center and Data Bank. We have benefited a lot from these seminars. The last one I attended was in Kenya about 2 years ago, I think 1 year or 2 years ago. We get together experiences from different countries and we share those experiences. We have also got an interaction with the suppliers of the productive materials, for example, hormones and so on and so forth. We have also got a hands-on experience from the field attachments from the suppliers, which we go back now and use in our communities with a lot of confidence. So there's a lot of experience gained all the time we go for this conference.
The country's Livestock Development Institute is working closely with IMV Technologies to significantly boost up the sector, harness Ethiopia's huge potential for dairy development and increase production and productivity.
This ReproCownect Seminar 2024 has been originally planned for 2019, but because of COVID it was not realized, and last year it was held at Nairobi, Kenya, and this year it is undertaken here. The major intention of this ReproCownect is reproductive technologies are very important ones. Biotechnologies, reproductive biotechnologies are the most important ones in order to improve the cattle genetic improvement. And there are also new technologies, there are other old technologies, and also there are experiences of each countries. So the intention is to bring all stakeholders from input suppliers to the development partners to bring together and also share their experience, and also to connect each other from what's available in their areas, so that this will bring the African reproductive technologies together, and also we share experiences. And if there are scalable technologies, then still we scale up, and also we document these technologies and scale up in the respective countries. So it will bring all actors together to have to share experiences and also to connect each other.
From our position, we think that the government is implementing a very powerful strategy in terms of implementing resources, or improving the resources for animal reproduction. So that's what we saw with the 5 different artificial insemination centers all across the countries. So there is some very good positive points about it. From a nutritional point of view, we think that the fact that many farms are small scale farms, there is a lot to be done to improve farm management or feed management on the farm, so that we can improve also the performances in farm. So there is a lot which is done by the public sector, and now we also need to help the private sector to bring all the necessary elements to improve the performances in terms of reproduction. For livestock resources, I think that you already have some large number of cattle here. So for the resources, it's already present. What we can do is to help Ethiopian farmers to use the local raw materials that are available here. So raw materials such as corn, sorghum, or different sources of protein. So we can help the farmers to improve performances in farm on reproduction, but also on milk production, using the local raw commodities that are here available.
The first recommendation is for all the stakeholders of the reproduction and even livestock industry to continue improvement. We have come in Ethiopia, we've come very, very far already, and we're the leaders, but there's always room for improvement. So we need to look at what are the key factors that can unlock this improvement. We do believe that technology is part of it. There are still challenges on the field for technical results, for some technical issues. We have now and more technical solutions. One example is pregnancy diagnostics. This is originally done by palpation. Recently, there's been, for the last, let's say, 10-20 years, the development of ultrasound scanning, veterinarian portable ultrasound scanning to do this, but it needs a lot of training. Now, IMV has developed artificial intelligence so that tomorrow, and this is under development, part of it is already out. We will develop it more in the next 1-2 years, so that any technician, even without a lot of training, can go and do ultrasound scanning on the cow, and the machine will tell you the cow is pregnant, this is the sex of the fetus, etc., etc. So all those technological improvements will help the industry to improve technical results, to get more traction on the field for getting better AI adoption, artificial insemination adoption on the field. So I really encourage them to always look forward and to look at the technology that is out there that they can use to help them to resolve some of those technical issues.
Mostly our livestock are raised under extensive farming systems. That's where over 90% of our livestock are kept. So due to these traditional ways of raising animals, it's difficult to fold these animals critically. But we've introduced something called the community breeding program, where farmers are gathered together and animals are gathered so that they can be bred as a group to meet the challenge, to mitigate the challenge of extensive breeding, extensive production where breeding is difficult. So the utilization of these breeding technologies help us to breed those animals which are difficult to breed under extensive conditions.
Since this is a very specialized field with few people engaged in them, the seminar is of big value for the participants drawn from 12 countries, Asia and AU countries.
The collaboration has been quite important, and I thank the ReproCownect because they have managed to bring us together. Before we were working independently, and the few interactions that we had was through INCAT, but that was not enough. But ReproCownect has managed to bring us together in especially that region, the East Africa, and we are able to share ideas on how to undertake breeding and also the regulation of the same. We have drafted the breeding services regulations, and we borrowed a lot from the East African countries, the Rwanda, the Uganda, and Tanzania. And Kenya, we finished with that drafting of the regulations. And we really borrowed a lot from our neighboring countries to put up together those breeding services, and we are doing quite well.
Yes, so it's true. Seva Santé Animal has been working in Africa for now a very long time. We have a dedicated team both at the headquarter level, but also on the field. We have a team of experts who's helping other professionals and farmers on the field. The way we operate is that most of our products are basically produced in European or Northern American facilities with basically top quality, because we believe that you need the best quality possible of the products to get the best results on the field. And then what we are trying to do is, with our team of local experts, and we try to make sure that these innovations, these new products, are actually adapted to the field, because the context locally is very specific. If I take the case of Ethiopia, at the moment, in terms of production, in the case of the ruminant production that we are dealing with at the moment with that seminar, ReproCownect, a lot of the production is still traditional. However, you have a very huge amount of cattle, and one of the challenges is to try to improve the production of this cattle. So we need to take into account this context, and we need to make sure that our solutions fit this type of production. However, I believe that Ethiopia really is on the right path, notably thanks to a large network of inseminators who are able, little by little, to improve on the genetics. And here what we are presenting today during that seminar is how can we help on how do we properly synchronize and treat the cattle so that they are in the perfect conditions, so that the AI can succeed, and therefore you can improve the genetic, which will then allow you to improve the production. So this is one of our many specialties in terms of animal health.